Welcome back, folks. This is lesson 29, and today what I've got for you is a place called Pin Mill. And Pin Mill, this is the Pin Mill area here, and that's on the edge of the River Orwell, from Ipswich down there out to the sea. And this is a pub actually called the Butt and Oyster. Lovely pub, yeah, very popular. And you come down to it. There's one road in, one road out, and of course there's boats and all that around here, and it's quite popular. So I thought we'd paint that today, and so let's see how we go, shall we? I think we'll have the sun shining from. Let's see now. I think we can have the sun shining from the. Shining from the right today. Okay. Right. Let's make a start. The colours, by the way, today are. There they are. Similar to what we usually do. That's the ochre or the raw sienna, and the ultramarine, and the ultramarine burnt umber mix, which gives you a sort of a darker grey colour, and then a wheat mix of alizarin crimson, which is a lovely colour. In fact, I've mixed my colours here. I forgot that one, so I better mix some of that or there'll be trouble. So I'll just do a touch of that on there, and away we go. Right, what I've also done, I've put you. You'll have seen by now that I've put you a sketch to start with. All you do is pause the video onto the sketch, transfer that onto your watercolour paper, and then start the video from where we are now. Okay, so I'll move the colours and let's get painted, shall we? Lesson 29. This is a sort of the weight of the picture is down this corner, isn't it, round there? So I think what we need to sort of balance things off a bit is sort of a cloud formation this side, and that'll balance that out, won't it? So let's see how we go. I'll put some water on for a start, randomly. There we go. Right, let's do a touch of sunshine. That's our raw sienna. It can be a nice day even with a dodgy cloud up in the top left hand corner there. So let's not spoil it altogether. Right, that's that one. Let's put some blue sky on now, shall we? Blue sky, you can't beat it with blue sky. And let the blue form your clouds for you, if you like. So like that. Leave that one there. It's quite nice. Come down here and form another one. What about that? And come down to the horizon. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Cross that up there. Just dampen that up a bit. To blue there. And then at the base of the sky, let's pop some of the pink stuff in. Down here. That's nice, I like that. Mind the pub, because the pub's white. I don't need to paint that. Oh, quite a nice sky here. The light's coming from the top right, isn't it? So we get some shadows on the bottom of these clouds here. Now at that stage I'll start and pop in some dark cloud at that corner. That'll balance it off a bit. There we are, there's a nice dark cloud for you. Spoil the day. Leave some gaps. So the weight of the colour is on the top left there. Real juicy dark down there. And of course as it goes towards the horizon, the colours weaken and then they soften, don't they? So let's soften these lines a bit down at the bottom. In fact, if there's something you don't like on there, all you do is you get a tissue, that line's there, see, and take out the run bit there. That'll leave you a nice cloud, won't it? You decide what you poke in and what you leave out. Touch down up. Nice cloud formation. And then stop fiddling. That's what you do. Now I can look for one or two shadows under these clouds to just, so the light's from there, so we'll get a cloud shadow on, probably on that side. And the back of that cloud there. Some down here. The back of that. Get some on the bottom side of that one. And all this helps to make your sky look interesting. Because let's face it, it's 3/4 of your painting, isn't it? So if you make this look good, the rest of it can look after itself. Put a shadow on that there. Pinch the touch of that. Shadow around there. We've got a shadow on that one. Touch a shadow under this one. And then your sky looks a little bit more interesting than what it was. I think you'll be alright now. A touch of, soften that round there. It's too pinky. Right, I think that's enough. A little bit more here. Darken it a bit now because it's coming closer. And then we start introducing a touch of that stuff over during the sunshine, just a touch of that into it, and now that'll turn, it gives sort of a greeny tinge because it's getting closer. Still bluey, but just a touch of a hint of green in it because we can see it. And do it for a bit more along there, like that, and then a touch more of that in, that colour in, which will make it greener than ever, won't it? There, that's starting to get a greeny colour to it now. It varies as it goes along. Then do a bit like that, and then we'll start getting some richer greens as we come into this corner here. So that then we go with the cadmium yellow, which is a nice rich yellow, and a touch of Windsor blue red shade into that. We'll just give it a nice greeny touch. Just test it on your test paper, make sure it's the green you want. That looks okay. Let's see if we can start getting some greens on here. You're coming towards the little boat there, so be careful there. Just go around the edge of the boat there. Well, there's a boat here, our main boat, of course. It's a Thames barge. Or a barge. I'm not going to say Thames, in case I'm wrong. I know which way to go. Touch more green into there. This all behind the boats and the pub. You can bind the sail because that's a different colour. Oh, we've got it that far. It's nice. Touch of water in there, make it a bit more runny. Then comes down behind the pub. Steer. So mind the pub because that's going to be a different colour. It's up against the pub there. And then we have a touch at the right hand side of the pub, just here. That's anchored the landscape down. But of course I want to just put, it's a bit flat underneath, so I need to put in some shadow content in these just to give these trees some shadow and some shape. Same with these here. The light's from the right, don't forget. The dark's under there. So these trees are quite close, so we're going to get a bit of shadow and that detail on them, aren't we? Not detail, but shape. That's a better word. Of course, it'll weaken as it gets further away from you. Well, at least it's not flat. It lost losing its two-dimensional look, which is always the thing we're after, isn't it? Touch of brown to there. Then stop fiddling with them, leave them be. Right, I need to sort of have a look at that. I think we'll get some of this here, rid of some of this white. You know, I don't like white in it confuses the issue. Right, let's see about this foreground now, shall we? We'll put a base colour of the sunshine in the base here, so we know where we're going. So we'll just put a bit of, it's low tide. So we'll get this effect on that bank there. There we go, let's put that away. Perhaps a touch of brown on this foreground here. The burnt umber, that's the stuff you put in the sky up here, the burnt umber. We'll have a touch of that in, shall we? Down here, that'll give it a bit more foreground, it will. Touch. I said low tide, so we've got all these boats are sat on mud as opposed to sea. In fact, they're probably all in the pub. The Butt and Oyster. It used to be a sort of a sawdust and type pub, and it was very good, very nice. But I think they've improved it a lot, or altered it a lot, I should say. So I can't speak. I haven't been down there for a while, so I don't know. But it's always very popular. Right, I'll leave that for a bit now. And on top of this here, there's some grass down there. Let's put a touch of grass in there and let's kill that off a bit, shall we? Down here. So there we go, that's that. Put a bit of dark into that just to give it some shape. Right, now we can have a look at the pub, or these boats, whichever we like, So a pantel roof, that'll give us that a nice burnt sienna colour. That's the burnt sienna. That gives it a nice glow. It will complement the greens as well, doesn't it? That's this piece up here. I'll get a chimney pot. If you can hear a pitter patter on this video, I'm sorry folks, it's the first rain we've had for months and it's welcome for the garden, but it may pick up the sound of it. Sorry about that. I should draw the painting that's raining, that would have been better. Second chimney. Little pip on the top. It's a nice contrasty colour with the greens in that. It looks like it's just been built by a wimpy, just by leave that. So I'll put some darker shades in to age it. We can't have a looking new, can we? And I'm using the colour that's up the top there, up in the sky. touch of that in there. Touch down there. The light's from the right, isn't it? A bit darker there. There's a little lean-to roof. I've got that one. Better pop that one in. That's this one here. Oh, there's one at the back. So you get cyclists down here. They cycle down there and then they drive off in drunken charge of a bike. That's if they have too much, of course. I'm sure the responsible people. Just tidying them up a bit. Don't let down a bit there. Right, this part here is sort of like a landing stage. It's all banked up there, and there's mooring posts up against it. So I think we'll pop some of them in, shall we, first? Let's get that to get a base colour on this and put a touch of that weak burnt umber on that. Would just set it off nicely on here. We can indicate the poles when it's dry. Poles, stanchions, I don't know what you call them, but we'll pop them in. Pop it in there. Mind the boat. So that's just an undercoat. We'll put using that sky colour again. I'm keeping it all hangs together. Put some darks into here where it's dirty. Been here for years, this thing, and what I've noticed is when you go down there, there's a Thames barge there, or some kind of a barge, and there's always someone working on it, and every time you go down there, you don't see it going anywhere, but you see them working on it. The upkeep on it must be phenomenal. I don't know why, but that's how it is. Anyway, that's got that set to there. And these rocks on the side here, I think we'll just put a bit of shape on these rocks here. It comes down towards the muddy area of water. And here again, touch that, the stuff from the sky up here, darken it down with that. Because the light's coming from the right, isn't it? So we'll get some darks under there, where the grass hangs over. And that's fine. There's this piece at the top here. I must put that in. It's a bit of a road affair, this thing here. Put that in. Now then, I think we ought to do some windows on this thing. Perhaps a little chisel brush might help there. That little flat chisel brush. That's this one. Put a bit of paint on that. And I'm using that sky colour, the mixture of the 9 and 5 and the ultramarine and burnt umber. And let's put some windows in here. One around the corner here. The prime spot sat in there, you know, overlooking having your pint and having a look over the water. They flock to that spot, I'll tell you. There's no stopping them. Windows in here. And of course the biggest window is the one furthest away from you, because you're looking at it at an angle. So the first one is covered by the depth of the wall. I'll pop this bottom one in here. I think I'll have 4 on this one. It's the main lounge. I'll leave the doors for a bit, but while you're doing these windows like that, you're going to get shadows in the top of it. So if you put a bit of a dark in the top corner of it, it all helps to make it look quite interesting. So that's darks in the top of there. Look. Maybe we won't turn in that one. Dark up the top there. Down that right hand side where the sun's catching the interior. Same with this one. You see, your windows will look a lot more authentic if you do these little bits of fiddle. Otherwise it's just a flat blue blob, isn't it? Which doesn't convince anybody. Same with this one here. So the light's coming from the right, so the shadow is going to be on the right hand side where you can see it just there. I'll touch on that window there like that. And we can strengthen these. We'll put the doors in first. We'll have a nice coloured door, shall we? Well, like a red door. I'm going to put a cadmium red door in. That'll lift the pub up, that will. I suppose we've got to have a matching door because it's the same pub. They're not going to make a different door, are they? A different colour. We've got to have the same one here as well. And here again, that you get this same effect on the windows that you'll get on the door, which is a dark to the right hand side of it, where the sunlight has sort of created a shadow just there, down that side and down there. And what that does, it sets it into the actual building for you. In fact, it doesn't look as though it's painted on. It's in, which is what we're after. Right, you're doing well, folks. You're doing really well. Might take a bit longer than usual, this one, but you're worth it. You can handle it. And of course, on the bottom, on these pan tile roofs, they got like a little thing like that on the bottom. The shape like that at the bottom. That helps. There might be a touch on this little one here. I'm starting to fiddle, so watch it. Stop what you're doing. Right. I might put a little bush in there. I just felt it coming on. Little bush just here. I think we'll have some dark brown on these pillars here. It's still that same colour what we used in the sky, the burnt umber. So they're a bit rustic, these, they're not B&Q. They've been there for years. The boats have hit them with the tides in, and they're all shapes. Another one here. Right, shall we do some? I think we'll put the water in first, then that'll get rid of that white, won't it? If we can get rid of the white, then we can see where we're going. So what's in the sky is in the water, isn't it? So let's have some of that colour into the sea. It's just a reflection of the sky, isn't it? Let's see, put a touch of this in. Once you get rid of that white, the picture looks different already. Be careful up here. Right, it's a bit flat that, so I've got to darken this this front of the sea to bring it towards me, and use the same colours again, but less water. That should be all right. Yeah, that's darker. Yes. This will bring the sea. It'll take that flatness out of it and bring this colour towards us, which is nice. Keep up that top bit. Right, feels not too bad. Right, let's just tackle some of these boats, shall we? I think we'll start off with this. We'll leave that one white, that distant one, and start with our main boat, if you like, for want of a better name. I think we'll have it a miserable brown. This one. It's a burnt umber. That's the sky colour. Don't forget. We'll paint it a browny colour. It's not very exciting, but there'll be no reflection on it because it's up against sand, isn't it? Let's put the undercoat on it. Now we get it goes under. The bottom part. We've got a sort of put some darks on the other side to make it shaped. So I'll use that sky colour. I love that colour. It replicates it straight through the painting, which is nice. That'll darken the bottom of the hull. Oh, I like that word. I was getting real nautical then. The hull. That's down there. Brought it down towards us. And of course, with the light from there, this end will be darker. We'll do it with when we do the shadows and that. Right, let's have a look at this sail, this furl sail. We need a furl sail on there. I'm going to use that sienna again, that raw sienna, burnt sienna, sorry. Let's get some colour on there. Just flicks up there like that. Another fold down here before it hits the deck. There. And of course, I'm going to use that sky colour again to give it some shape, because it's draped, you know, it's shape, isn't it? The lights from the right, don't forget. And give it some shape. Yeah, we're okay there on that one. We'll leave that for a bit now. I might just put in them touches of top of the bass, just to touch them out. I shan't use a straight edge on this because they're only short. Just touch these short ones in here. On this one. There's a little one at the back of the boat which I should have put in, and I haven't done. But I'll finish these. There's a mast there, down on that boat. Let's see if I can do it freehand. do. And of course the front of this, it's got this sticky out bit at the front. It's called a bowsprit, I understand. Right, that's looking good. Just that bit of brown on that back one there. This other sail here. So no reflections because it's not water below it, is it? Don't worry about that. Right, let's try this boat here. I'm working from my left hand to my right because I'm right-handed. So I put this boat in here. Bit of colour on this one, I think. I'll make it a white boat and a red gunnel. How's that? Just be careful with it. That's the red bit there. Oh, I might get a touch of reflection in there, I doubt it, but I'll put a touch in anyway for you. The boat here, I think we'll have a blue one this time. Touch of blue. Bit of dark underneath. Right, think of a colour for these two. What shall we have them? Well, I've a yellow boat. Oh no, a mahogany one. That'd be better. Mahogany. So that's just poking out from behind the front one, isn't it? So I only see part of it. Some at the top here. And this one can be, let's see now what colour. Oh, we'll have a yellow one. I'm sure there's not many yellow boats about, but we've got one this time. Hardly traditional, but we've got one anyway. Nice yellow boat. the sound not going off your set. Sometimes I stop talking. It's unusual for me, but sometimes I do. There. Let's put some yellow seeds in it as well, shall we? And of course, it's going to be a bit dark on the underside of this. So let's put some darks down here. Dark under this one as well. And this one. Right, I want to be dark in there. Inside that hole. Some sticky up bits here. I think I'll put some red seeds in that one. I'll put some blue seeds in that one. So we've got that as well. We've got to be authentic with these things, folks. You can't just lap happy at it. There. Well, that rudder, I think I'll put a dark rudder in there. Starting up here, but it's got a bit sticking out the top where they steer it with. A bit runny that, so I'll put a stronger colour in. I want to state it quite strong. So this rigger is a lovely little brush to. It's useful if you haven't got one. Put it on your shopping list for one next time you get out. If that's the word for it. Oh, I forgot too. I forgot a bit of roof on that. This is a lean-to here. We need a roof on that just to see the edge of the tiles. It'd be nice if you put a window in there as well while I'm messing about. That'll do. Right, where are we going now? A touch of dark on there. Top out of there. Right, I want to strengthen this here mud mud stuff at the front here. Let's bring this towards us a little bit. Now this is that burnt umber stuff, what we used in the sky, don't forget. Touch of that, perhaps a pinchy touch of that, the sky colour. Let's pop some in here. This. Because it's mud. It's not sand. It's just mud. Don't want it to look too pretty, do we? A touch of mud down here. Dark down here like that. This is that. I've got a bit left of that sky colour. I've just used it there, just to give me a bit of depth, like that. Some down this bank here. Right, let's have a look at some shadows now, shall we? Perhaps put a bit of mud approaching that water's edge. Try that a little bit. Right, I think we need to tackle some shadows now. Well, that shadow colour, that's what we used in the sky. Just make sure it's all right for us. Take more water in that. Right, the back of this boat will be in shade, won't it? Because the light's coming from here. I'll put a touch of reflection there because it's just balanced in the water. And get a touch in here. Bit tricky this bit. I got a touch. There's some dirt on this hole here, so I'll put some dirt on the bottom of that. Even that background one's going to be a bit dirty. This one here is going to be a bit dirty on the bottom, isn't it? The back end of this Thames barge is going to be in shade, isn't it? So I better pop that in. And it's also going to cast a shadow on the mud there. This is going to be in shade, this little boat there at the end, and also it's going to be shadowy inside there. It's also going to cast a shadow, isn't it? Just a slight one just on here, perhaps on that boat. this one will be shady at the end. There'll be shadows inside that boat there. Inside that one. Of course, that'll cast a shadow as well, won't it, down here? Now a little yellow one. Shady in there. I'll be shadowy on the end of it as well, just here. No reflection because it's mud. A bit dark down. This under here will be shadowy. This end wall will be shadowy, won't it? Because it's dark. It's sat in the dark. They might get shadow on this end here as well, while we're at it. This is like a wall affair, so I've got to put some shadow on the edge of that. A touch of shadow on the chimney just there, and that one just there, which might cast a shadow on the roof there like that, see? All these little things cast shadows, don't they? There'll be a shadow on the underside of that overhang from the pantile roof. And there'll be a shadow on the inside of that. Oh, in fact, that was a lean-to, so I'll put that shade there and a shadow on the underside of that. Now I've got to be careful now because I'm looking for things to do. But what I've got to do next, I forgot. Can you tell me where? Well, first of all, above the pub, above the doorway, there's two lintels there, which we better put some lintels in, or it's going to look crackers, isn't it? So just here, we'll put a lintel above this door, just here, like this. One above this one. Nearly forgot those. Now the thing we're short of here, folks, is people. Because I've never seen a pub yet without people. Shade that wants to be doing, they've missed. Because this parapet here, this is in shade here. I nearly forgot it. Very remiss of me. Because it's round the corner. Then it comes in the light as it comes beyond the corner. So that's a nice bit of dark in there, which sets it off a little bit. Let me have a look. See. Now people. I promised you some people, didn't I? People. Right. Now they've got to fit through this door, haven't they? So they can't be that big. So we'll put Fred in. We'll put him a maroon jumper on this time because it's a red door, isn't it? So this bloke with this maroon jumper on is thinking about a pint. He's gasping, and he's got to be get through that door. So don't do him too big. He's only a little fella. Just see one about here. That's another bloke coming down the path here. He's on his way. And then we can get putting some trousers on. Just see a bit of trousers out at the bottom there. Put him a head on. There he is. And I think he could comfortably get through that door, couldn't he? So I'm not worried about him now. And he's got his girlfriend with him. I think they've come down on the bikes. She stood there with him saying, Only small, just like him. She's there, stood there waiting. I'll have a gin tea, she says. There, look at her. Obviously caught in very close. That's 2, and that's 3 there. Another. What about somebody working on one of the boats? That'd be nice. Very soon you're going to have to take the brush off me. So let's say a bloke here working on this. Let's see. Well, I've been working on this boat. He's on here. He's sat here, contemplating his rudder, whatever they do. You only see the top half of him because he's sat down, isn't he? But he's got his arm out there. That'd be nice. And one down here. He'd be nice, wanting to get one down here doing something to his boat. He's leaning over. It's getting complicated now, this. He's got his arm stretched out because he's wondering what to do with it. He's got some sensible trousers on for sailing. There he is, he's looking at that boat. And this bloke sat on the boat, he's got a head as well. Just wondering what to do. There's a rudder. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another couple, I think, while I'm at it. Yeah, we'll have another man on this boat here. And we could make that a red outfit for the suit for the ship. And this bloke is the bloke that's supervisor. He's got his arm on the sail there. He can tell he's a supervisor. He's doing nothing. He's got matching dark trousers on. Just here. Dark-haired lad. Oh yes, that's two on the boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one somewhere doing something. Near the pub. And he's got put him a blue jumper on. He stood here. Wondering where to go in the pub or go sailing. I think I'll finish in the pub actually. Put some trousers on. There he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An odd number, that's nice, that's good. Bit of shadow on these people. Right, as I'm looking for things to do now, folks. Let's have a look in the sky, see if there's any birds needed. Or let's put some in any case. Let's go for. To hell with the expense, let's go for it. I'll put one in anyway. Just this is hovering. Just wondering whether there's any way having fish and chips at the pub. There he is, up in the sky. and hang on, there's one more little shadow, just a little shadow. It's not important, but I'm putting it in. There's like an overhang here from that building, so I'm going to put a little shadow in there, down there. I said then take the brush off me because I'm fiddling. Well, that is Pin Mill down on the Orwell estuary. Lovely spot. If you ever get a chance to go there, I'd recommend going to see it. It's lovely. Take your paints with you and have a really good day. And until next time, folks. Goodbye, folks.